What is going on out there, peeps? Finally, the news I was waiting to hear about came out today. Woo, man, we're going to get into that right now. Well, in a couple seconds here. If you guys are considering buying precious metals, give our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange a consideration. The link is in the description. If you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. If you already got your free half ounce, don't be a greedy Gretchen. You only get one, all right, you guys? Okay, going over here to Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. Over here, we're talking about investment opportunities, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies. Right now, buy on the dip, you guys. That's including cryptocurrencies. They're going up. All right, the link is in the description for cryptocurrencies as well. No politics over here. Bring that over to here. The hidden things are in front of your eyes. We can talk about politics, current events, NESARA, GESARA, 9/11, false flag events, the whole 9 yards. Just be respectful of one another. If you don't have Facebook, I do got Twitter. The link is in the description. Come on over and join me over there. All right? So let's get into the news, man, because some of these things are waiting to see. Remember, I told you, even if they did a rate change right now, over here in America, it'd be really hard to exchange your currency. There are some restrictions on the currency. All right, but this is good. We've been waiting for this, and this was the news I was hoping would come out yesterday. So Iraq announces its exit from the list of high-risk countries and increases its oil exports. So the oil, or the fine let's try this again. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs announces that it has succeeded in reinstating the activities of 169 Iraqi companies and institutions out of the 230 entities banned by the UN Security Council Resolution 1518, which classifies Iraq as a high-risk country, seeking to lift a ban on the rest of the entities. Yay! Come on, Iraq. That means they're doing good. We're almost there. We're getting there. These are types of things that we're looking for. Yeah, go ahead. You can do the pee-pee dance. You okay? Be excited. All right, so let's get over here. The spokesperson of the ministry said in a statement to the semi-official newspaper, the semi-official, I love that, published in edition today, Thursday, that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, after meeting with a number of his European counterparts, the policies and security officials in the European Union, other high-ranking personalities, succeeded in winning their votes and support to lift Iraq the list of complete very soon. Well, I like how they worded it, and support the lift of Iraq from the list completely here soon is what it should say. Let's see here. He added that the entities and institutions covered by the ban extended their work to various sectors such as investment, economy, industry, and other sectors, stressing the lifting of the ban on them will add support to their internal economies and facilitate their cooperation with the government. This is great. This is great news, man. It really is. We're not out of the woodworks yet, but we're still working on it. So the foreign minister Hussein sent a letter to his counterparts in European Union countries in which he was surprised at the inclusion of Iraq on the list of the high-ranked countries in the field of money laundering and terrorist financing. On the other hand, the oil minister revealed an expected agreement with the oil exporting countries OPEC and OPEC Plus groups to increase oil exports, indicating the reduction agreement between the countries of OPEC would continue until 2021. This allows them to sell more oil and to get more revenue into the country, which is needed. Regarding the field shared with Iran and Kuwait, they revealed the existence of consulting companies working on developing plans and factors for joint operation in the fields between Iraq and Kuwait. As for the joint fields with Iran, there is a dialogue with the Iranian side to agree on a final stable formula for operating the fields. So again, more of them starting to come around. This is what we're looking for. This is really good news. Again, it's worth being excited for, but we don't want to get overly excited when it's good news, and you don't want to get overly down when it doesn't look like it's good news, okay? So this was what I was hoping was coming out yesterday. I'm glad it's out today. All right, American announces an assessment of Kadhimi. The Iranian-backed mob is hindering the stability in Iraq. Yeah, to the point now you're starting to see a lot of these leaders of different movements and different political factions. What they're doing at the moment is telling their own people, hey, we need to calm down. We need to get it together here for the sake of Iraq. So we're seeing some positive movement in that direction, which is a good thing. So anyways, it said during the Senate hearing, Hill referred to the reform being undertaken by the Prime Minister and said that the latter had begun to restore the sovereignty of the Iraq state, with efforts made to combat corruption and control the fugitive weapons at the hands of militias. Again, we know this. There's a lot of people that have been arrested. There's a lot of people that have been removed from senior positions. This is what we want to see out of the Iraqi government. This is great leadership. Very good. Removing the weapons out of the militia. That's fine. We get it. The American officials added that the Iraq people have ambition for democratic rule, but the militia carry out assassinations. See, remember, we saw that Sauder came out and said, look, we can't do that. You guys got to stop bombing and stop assassinating. All right, for the sake of Iraq, we need to get along. This isn't good, because the more they do that, the more it affects the sovereignty of Iraq. On the U.S. military presence in Iraq, the U.S. Undersecretary of State stressed that it is to counter Iranians' influence and eliminate the terrorist organization ISIS. So we are removing another 6,000 troops out of there. I think we're going to have about 2,500 troops left over there. But again, they're there for security purposes. And so at least Trump's sticking to his side and telling Al-Qademi they'll be out of there within 3 years. Might be sooner. It just depends on how quickly they get their crap together. Hill said that Hezbollah in Lebanon sponsors corruption and sacrifices their people's interests in exchange for collecting weapons, carrying out its activities regionally, and Iran financed it with $700 million and its leader. This is why there's a problem with Iran. Now we just heard that Iran sold themselves to China. Should be very interesting to see what happens. The Houthi militia continues to threaten regional security and stability in targeting civilians installations in Saudi Arabia. All right, so they're still trying to get it together. Still great moves moving forward. All right, so anyways, Kurdistan responds strongly to Alawi's. His allegations are baseless. So what did Alawi say? The Kurdistan regional government denied the allegations of the federal Minister of Finance, Alawi, regarding oil smuggling, stressing that it periodically publishes figures and oil exports through an international institution, and that Baghdad should follow in its path with transparency. Alawi had blamed Kurdistan region for its failure to comply with the obligations of OPEC Plus agreement to reduce oil production in support of the prices. Again, the purpose of the reduction was to jack up the price of oil, is what they were willing to do. But I think what Iraq was saying to the OPEC members is, look, you guys, we might not be able to reduce ours. We understand that you got to do yours, but they need more money. They need to cover things in the budget, and I do believe they got their exemption for it. So the Iraq oil and statement published in a website is seen by the news. The Kurdistan regional government strongly denies the recent allegations by the Minister of Finance in the federal government about oil smuggling, noting that these allegations are baseless rather than are pure speculation lacking evidence. So there's a little tension still going on between Erbil and Baghdad. The Iraq parliament on the delay of the salaries of employees. We are going through a suffocating and complicated crisis. So what this is, the article goes on talking about, their budget, even though they're putting their budgets together, they might not have the amount of money necessary to cover a lot of their expenses. This is why we keep saying change the damn rate. You would have more purchasing power. All right, more purchasing power is what they need. Anyways, they're saying that there was a delay on salaries, indicating that Iraq is going through a stifling and complex financial crisis, referring to the difficulty of external borrowing. All right, the members said to the news, the delay in the salaries of the employees until now is clear indication that Iraq's going through a very complicated and stifling financial crisis. We know this. Okay, and they can't borrow externally because you have to have a credit rating that's much better than what they have. He pointed out that Iraq's financial position is not good, pointing out that the credit rating index for Iraq is B-. It is noteworthy that the Iraq parliament approved the draft law submitted by the government on June the 24th for internal and external borrowing in order to pay their salaries of their employees, retirees, after the government was able to do that last April. Okay, so look, they're hurting, but they're still trying to get their ducks in a row. The sooner the better. They really need to bring stability there so they can start getting outside investors in there. All right, you guys know about this. Parliament financed 12.67 shares of the Kurdistan region budget. That was in yesterday's news. It's just another update. So here we go. The Al Fatah responds to Sadr's accusation against factions in the popular mobilization. All right, so again, the Al Fatah alliance headed by Amir responded to the accusations of the leader of the Sadr's movement of the bombing and assassination. Do you remember he said that? We got to stop doing that. He said that yesterday. The Al Fatah leader is saying that that's not us. Don't be pointing fingers is basically what this whole article is about. We won't get into it too much, but it just says basically, look at commitment to the primary mission of this government, which is extend security, restore the prestige of the state, and create the appropriate conditions for early elections, free, fair, and just, as well as transparent. We affirm that there is no choice but to build a fair state capable of extending security and assuring a free and decent life for every Iraqi citizen. I really love to hear this talk. I really hope they mean it, to be quite honest with you. We call on the judiciary and the security services to stand firmly and forcibly and to end the serious series of kidnappings, assassinations, and to steer terror among the people behind which there are sinful hands who want to stir up chaos. We know this. We know it's Iran wants this. They don't want Iraq to be stable. They want them to rely on them as much as possible. And they wanted to be able to control what goes on. That was their whole goal, was to control the Middle East, period. Anyways, it goes on and just saying what they want. They're starting to agree on the same thing, as which is we want peace in the Middle East. And it looks like they're getting there, to be quite honest with you. This is a quick message that the two sides are talking about the United States and Iraq. The foreign minister statement at Al Farat News. Developments in the situation in Iraq are at various levels, and the importance of strengthening the mechanisms of bilateral cooperation between America and the United States. Okay, again, here we are. They were removed off the list. This is good. They can increase their oil exports. All right, so that was the news that I was hoping to hear yesterday, but it did come out today. I'm just glad to see it because that's a big deal for us, all right? Again, more and more, Iraq is opening more and more to the international community, or being allowed to is probably the best way of putting it. So this is good news, you guys. Very excited about this. This is what we were hoping to see, a little bit more of this. Again, every day we get a little bit of good news, a little bit of good news, okay? That's what we want. And I just don't want people to get immune to it. So that's it for now, you guys. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. I'll catch you later.